We ready to love. Hey, I'm so excited to be having this conversation with you.
Likewise, we talk about love every fucking day of our. Can I curse? Every day of our lives.
Yes, every day, all day. It's like we live for it. It needs
That's it.
things need to be worked out. I mean,
Well, we're like the only single ones of all our friends, or at least the ones without kids and that whole situation. So, we're kind of can only relate to each other right now at this time of our life. So,
man, and it's a journey.
yeah, especially since I've known you since high school, it's definitely been a journey.
I mean, it's been a whole 10 years, high school, and we
Yeah,
just.
It was 8 years ago, actually. Don't give me
Oh, eight.
10.
That's right.
8 years
Oh,
ago.
sorry
Yeah.
about that.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. That's fine. We're
Yes.
starting off real good.
We're starting off real good. Y'all, we had to get together and talk season 5, episode 1 through 4 of Ready to Love. On OWN, it is a Will Packer production, lighthearted production.
He be killing
And it's
it.
just
Will
really
Packer
good.
is just killing it. Like,
Every
seriously,
time.
hashtag goals to be like him. He's on it. He's on one in the best way possible. Shout out to you, Will Packard. You don't know us, but you will one day, I think. And
Speak that.
we admire you.
Absolutely. He's doing huge things right now. So I'm
Yeah.
excited to talk about this. So I'm Jaimi Alexander, as you can see right here. And
My name's Gustavo Carr. I probably should have put a little at thing there, but since my best friend Jamie is taking my virginity, I've never done this before, so I'm learning as we go. Be patient with me.
y'all can still find him right there. So
Yeah, you can still find me somehow, some way. It's not that hard these days, which is
yeah,
great.
you're a little famous, like Blockbuster
I
famous. So
really,
yeah,
I am.
absolutely. I'll get your autograph after this.
Okay, perfect. I charge for those.
Yeah, I got you. $5.
Perfect. That's what
$5, honey.
$5
Okay,
make you
so-
holla. Okay, yeah. Let's get back. Let's get on topic.
I love it. So this show is so much fun. So what we're going to
So
do is
fun.
kind of walk through what we want to do is come after every episode. But since we're starting now, we're going to talk 1 through 4. So we want to talk about first how we feel overall about the show. Then we want to go through these characters and talk about the people, who has the most chemistry, who has the least chemistry, and some of our predictions for next episode. So why don't we start with this? How do you feel about the show overall?
I love it. I think it's great. I think it's smart. I think it's clever. I think casting did a really great job on making sure that they had such a nice flavor varietal for people to choose from and understand. I think not just for us as viewers, but also as the people on the show. I think a lot of the shows can kind of they can be a little stale with kind of like more of one type, maybe 2 if lucky. This one seems to just be a little more full in that aspect. It doesn't feel like it's lacking any type of personality, so to speak. They're all beautiful. They're all stylish. I mean, skipping ahead a little bit, what like they did like the first arrival in the house, like everyone looked so good. Everyone looked so good.
Seriously.
The host, everybody, the contestants. I mean, it tastes and feels classy when I watch it, but it's still entertaining. Yeah.
I love that you said taste and use that word because that's what it's very flavorful. It's not bland when it comes to the characters,
Yes.
the way they look. Like they really spent their time with the aesthetic, making sure that the houses and all of the locations that they were at were super upscale and classy. And it's like we're grown. Like they made it fit. The men showing up in suits, the women dress it, hair, everything. So I have to agree. I love the way it looks. I love the energy of it. And I love all of the flavor in all the characters. Oh, there's a lot of flavor. There's a lot of characters.
And it doesn't, and I like it you said grown, because it definitely does feel grown. Even though, as we'll get to it, some of these grown folk are still a little more mature when it comes to emotional intelligence and such. But you can tell that, I think every single one of them have lived.
Yeah.
They've all lived. They're not, no one seems like an amateur by any means. And that's not me placing judgment on anybody. Trust me, we're all living every day and learning and growing. So that's not what I mean. It's just in the sense of aesthetically, mentally, emotionally, these people really seem like they think at least that they're ready. And I think that if they're not ready now, I think they're doing a good job so far, as well as cutting the ones out because I don't think they're ready either yet. But if not now, I think they all seem to carry, I think all of them, maybe a couple not, seem to hold themselves at some type of integrity
Mm-hmm.
to learn from this and let this be a stepping stone into actually then being able to really be ready to love. And I feel like maybe I'm little psychic vibes right now, but like I feel like that's what Will Packard really wanted, or whoever's creating the show. They really wanted to make sure like people really benefited from this, you know?
Mm-hmm. Great call, because I'm seeing that too. All of the personalities are really open for growth and evolving, especially we'll talk about the cuts and how people handled that. But at the end of the day, everybody, I feel like, was as transparent as they could be. So that way, regardless, they're not going home with nothing. Like everybody's
Totally.
going home with something.
Absolutely.
Yes. So let's talk about some of this flavor, like with all of these people. We should go through some of these characters because I like how you mentioned that, like, basically people are not brand new to this. We got people who have been married before, a widow, people have kids. There's so much going on. So this is not a game. This is not Girls Gone Wild where we're in the bikini and trying to hook up in the pool like old school real world. This is
nothing
different.
wrong with that. This is just different.
Nothing wrong with that, but this is different. Okay.
I still love me watching the real world challenges. I love those. But yes, 100% of the world, you know what I mean? The challenges. Yeah, no,
Yes,
absolutely.
yeah.
There's such a diversity in there. And I really like to take that,
Yes.
like, I love that I feel like there's besides them all being delicious black magic, there's still some type of variety in the sense of like, you can tell they're kind of mixed and mingled, intertwined, like we all are these days in age, you know?
Yeah.
And I do love that too, because I think innately our heritage, whether we are aware or not, really does play into how we move. So I like that gives me a little bit more of a dynamic, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes. Because the upbringings, even though it's a chocolate city, it's like the upbringings, what people are into, how they're designed, and all of that is coming. It's different. Yeah.
They all still chocolate and delicious for sure. There's no doubt about that. But like what comes to mind right now, not to jump ahead, but like Sabrina, you can just tell that she is just different. You know what I mean? She literally has a different head on her shoulders because she comes from a different place. But it doesn't take away from the commonality of her peers that are on the show with her. And I really, really appreciate that so far a lot. She's probably one of my favorites, actually. I feel like I could be friends with her. I could be friends with Sabrina.
Yeah.
You know?
I totally agree. She has a je ne sais quoi about herself.
She does. An awareness. Let's stick on Sabrina if you don't mind. But
let's start with Sabrina.
Perfect. Because her upbringing, when she got really vulnerable with Walter, spoiler alert, I think that they could make it to the end. I see a chemistry between them. I see an understanding. I see the same level of emotional maturity, still unpacking bags, but I think that the way they unpack their bags, they can see those. Out. There we go. Bam.
Okay.
Boom.
I was like, was that me?
I don't know. It could have been me. So
I agree with you. They're on the same frequency.
There you go. Yeah.
There was a very even keeledness. Yeah, there was a vibe about them too. I really appreciated that. Like, y'all are up there talking and crying and opening up, and this is the first time you've ever talked that special.
That would have been me.
Yes.
Just going there right away, and just because they also, you can tell they're at the age, they're mature like we are. They're probably the same. Well, they're older than us, but in the sense of maybe not that much for me, probably. But you can tell by the way they move that they're just here for the show for the right reasons. They understand. Like, you could tell she was hesitant to let it out, and she still wasn't completely comfortable being that vulnerable. But you could tell that, like, her higher self, something came over her and just encouraged her and gave her the strength to do it. And I feel like that broke down a wall that was really necessary for her. And like she says herself, she hasn't been able to tap into because she's so busy taking care of so many other people and doing other things for other people. So I thought that was a really beautiful moment for TV because I think so many people can relate to that.
And you know what made it even more poignant is she's been scammed by a man.
100%.
So she overcame that. And that's why, when we say that everybody came to kind of like bring their A game and be open and get something from this and do something different, I see that in her because she started by talking about how she was scammed by a man. She thought it was just them. Then they had a child. Then she found out, oh, he's married with kids and some more kids. Like, that can destroy you as a human, as a woman, if you allow it. And she was able to surpass that and still open up because, and I believe she was able to do that, one, because she's there for the experience, but two, she said, I know my worth. I'm done settling. So when you set that boundary as a person and you can stick to that, you have so much more room and freedom to play in the in-between because you know you're worthy and that you're not going to settle.
And she just needs this type of experience to actually play on this field, particularly.
Come on.
I think it's really beneficial for her. And the thing about Sabrina is that you can tell that she's an old soul. You can tell there's spiritual substance there, if that makes sense. They all have spiritual substance, but the spiritual substance in the fact that she's probably like us, a highly sensitive person. So it was easy for her to give and be lied to and taken advantage of. And I think a lot of us highly sensitive people at this age are realizing that for so many years, we kind of thought it was a curse and it was something that was a negative attribute to us. But when you get to this age, you realize how beneficial it is and how it's like the greatest tool on your toolkit at this moment in your life. And you can tell she's utilizing that fully. And I dare to say that she stepped away and takes care. Is it her dad that she's taking care of? And all those things.
I think so, yeah.
So she's taking care of somebody in her family, but I think she's been avoidant. She's still in avoidance. She's put that shell up, I think. And I think it was really courageous of her to get on this show, still even having that shell up a little bit, but maybe saying, I'm going to be fearless and jump into this because I know I'm ready. And this could be the opportunity for me to, to succeed at this, which she should. She deserves it, it feels like. It might be early predictions, but hey, I'm going to go with I've been wrong many times. Humans are just... we are ever changing and not at all. So, to each their own, but I'm definitely a fan of Sabrina so far.
Yeah. And I love that you use the word opportunity. Like, you pulled that right out of my brain. This is an opportunity, especially after everything that she's been through. So I love how she's taken advantage of that. And she has a stature about herself, even when I know that she's not about the games right now, because even when she was sitting with Corey,
she'd be reading. She opens the book, spills the tea.
She's like, we're not doing this. Like, you need to do this and be like, this is not very cut and dry. This is what we're doing. This is what it's not. This is how you're coming off. And this is what I think about it. I don't like,
but it's also like encouraging. It's not dismissive or rude. It's very much just a matter of fact. And that's
correct.
That's a sharpened tool. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And I see her in that. We see you playing with the tools in your toolbox, Sabrina.
She's killing it, Sabrina. You're killing it. Go off, Sabrina.
I love that. Well, while we're in the good energy of women that are amazing, well, you could say what you think about this person, but I'm really feeling Shiloh.
I was going to say, let's talk about Shiloh.
Okay. Let's talk about Shiloh. She is so sweet and fun. And I like how she brought up expecting the unexpected. So her openness and her free flowingness and her being an intimacy coach, it just works because that's the type of energy you need if somebody's going to throw you in a house with 10 men talking about date. Like, you need to be able to expect the unexpected and ride the wave. And she seems like she is doing that in freedom, flow, and positivity. And it looks good on her. I love her.
I think she's fantastic. And I love that they are not, it's not like, because, production can make you look a certain kind of way, right?
Correct.
They can play certain things. And this type of person usually can be shunned in a light that isn't so beneficial because she's, alternative therapies and like a yogi and energetic and all these things that can just be kind of misconstrued most of the time on television by characters, so to speak. Right. I love how she is a representation of that in the most grounded, truthful way. I think it's a really beautiful thing to have someone like her on a show like this, especially for a Black audience, because I think it's really, really cool. From the jump, she seems open. She seems ready. And her alternate modalities of intimacy, I think, will just be so beneficial for a lot of these men on the show. Even the ones she doesn't end up with. I don't know, we obviously were watching it. We ain't home with Will yet. He ain't giving us the episodes in advance.
Right.
So we don't know, but I have a feeling that she might teach some of these men some lessons about intimacy in a really positive way without condoning them or shunning them or making them feel bad about not knowing better.
And without being so forward about sex, because we see so much
Right.
with this overtly sexual energy, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, that's cool, but intimacy has layers and nuances to it that I don't think we're bringing to television enough. So the fact that she has that air and that energy about her, as women, she's not going to only teach the men, she's going to teach the women. The power of walking by a man and brushing his shoulder, the power of, you know, how you flip your hair and your perfume. There's so many subtle things that we can do and should do and do as women that drive men crazy. That don't have to be like, pop that, you know, like, it don't have to be that. It doesn't have to be that. You know what I mean?
You know, I'm the biggest
sexy.
advocate that it can be sometimes, because I still love to live my life
It
like
can
that.
be sometimes.
Even if it's in my kitchen by myself, staring at myself in the window.
Hey,
But
we all love a little twerk moment.
Hey, I mean, that's never going to change for us. But no, yeah, absolutely. You said it perfectly. That's she brings that lightness to it, even from the way that she even like looks at people.
Yes.
I love that she's Haitian and Mexican. What a beautiful
Oh,
combo.
is it Haitian? Okay, I knew I could see the Mexican or the Spanish, but I wasn't sure. But okay, Haitian. Oh, I like that.
That hair, I was like, where is she from? Like, and she said Haitian Mexican. I was like, that's what it is. Yeah, she's really cool. I love her vibe. Someone else I could absolutely be friends with. Good people.
Absolutely. And not only that, she has me wanting to look into intimacy coaching, not because I want to coach, but because, again, let's bring back and accentuate the natural things that we all could be doing to and with each other that are not just so overtly sexual, but lead up to that and allow you to see the depths of a person. Because at the end of the day, that's what's going to create a long-lasting relationship. Like, you can be attracted. We're seeing a lot of them. They're attractive, they're attracted, but then by like the second or third episode, it's a Tyrone situation where he's telling Carrie, I'm sorry, I'm not interested.
It's not a quick fix. It's not a quick fix.
Yeah.
I know. Tyrone. Can we go to Tyrone now?
Let's go to Tyrone.
Let's go to Tyrone.
Tyrone. Okay.
I feel some kind of way about him. Like,
talk to me.
He just seems, he's just unaware, I feel like. Like, I just don't think he understands how to communicate.
Right.
I know nothing about this man, so I'm not trying to project anything, but he just seems like he came from some type of home where like he didn't have a voice. Like, he doesn't seem like he knows how to use his voice, and if he used it, it comes from a fearsome place. Also, he was in the military, correct? That was Tyrone.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So that helps too. You know, that doesn't help with him feeling that way as it is as well. And the traveling and all stuff, but it's just, I feel like, yeah, there's an awkwardness to him. There's he's special. There's something really special about him in a different way. I mean, I look at his picture right now, and he has like these really bright, shiny eyes and a great smile. But even on the show, watching him, like, he has a hard time showing that. Like, he seems very heady, very heady. Not easy for her to let go and let be. Kind of calculating and watching himself maybe internally in his actions and the way he's moving, and then struggling with the duality of maybe approving it or not approving it. And I think that's why he called Homegirl, is because I don't think it was malicious I mean, I don't know them. What do I know? But I don't think it was malicious by any means. I think he's really was just trying to have someone hear him.
I think what you picked up on him was, you nailed it, because his mother was a cheater. Oh. And he was very affected by that.
Oh, yeah, that's what he said, right? That's him. See, thank you.
Yes. So that feminine and motherly energy that I feel like Shiloh has with being open, it probably was easy for him to call her and get his checks and balances together, because she holds that space naturally. And so he is awkward. And, you know, at the very beginning, I wasn't sure what I felt about him. I could have done without him. I'm like, I don't understand why he's on the show. But when he went out with Zadia and was very open about his PTSD, I thought that was absolutely incredible, because he said he thinks it's important to mention things that could be a detriment. And it is. So many of us hide what's quote unquote wrong with us, and PTSD put on a partner can be very scary. To just sit down at somebody at dinner and be like, I have PTSD. I would be afraid that the first thing you want to do is run away from me, because you don't want to deal with me. You don't want to. So there is a strength about him And
I would
he's
be like,
very
tell me more.
manly.
I like
Yeah.
you now.
Right. That's perfect. Let
That's
me fix
perfect.
you.
Go. You're crazy. I love it.
Yeah.
Let me embrace your
Exactly.
crazy. Let's be crazy together.
Because you
Yeah, no,
never know. Like
you
innately though,
don't.
we are more open to people's flaws than we believe someone could be open to our flaws. So he is quirky, he is awkward, but the more I get to know about him, I'm like, he's keeping it real.
He is. He really is, and it might be coming off in a way that is.
We're not used to real. Are we? I mean,
Well, also in the communication style might not be traditional.
how about that?
So that's probably hard for some ears to hear, and that's
Mm-hmm.
understandable. But I don't know. I like him. There's something about him. I think I what do I know? I'm not Miss Cleo, but I feel like he might be a good guy.
Yeah, he definitely seems like a good guy. He's just socially awkward, which is fine
It
because
makes
he
sense. He's been
seems
watching his mama. Like how could he
poor guy.
understand how to be anything
And
else?
to
But
trust women and to trust that a woman is not going to take his
yeah,
vulnerabilities and do something bad with it. Like that's hard.
yeah.
So he's doing a really good job. I can see him lasting longer than we think.
I completely agree with you. And I think this show was the perfect thing for him because I do think that he's really ready to move forward and heal his trauma. And I think he's ready. I do think he's ready for love. Now, any of
Mm.
these girls, so far do I know? I think there might be one or two that could be a good fit for him. I'm not sure yet. I'm just instinctively saying that. But yeah, maybe he does get further than we think.
Yeah, I think he'll get further than we think. And I hope so because his heart deserves to have a space to flourish. Like
He
I
sure
want him to be good.
he shines a different kind of light. And I think it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
It's good for us to see what that texture, what that looks like in that space under that type of light. What does that person embody? What are they giving off? I think it's really good for all of us in a society, especially right now, to celebrate
Mm-hmm.
different and be willing to see different and hear different. And I think he brings that to the show, which was great for casting. Great job.
Absolutely. There are so many people that are going to see a reflection of themselves in him. And you don't have to look that hard if you are looking beyond the surface. So relatable.
Bam.
So good. I was so here for that. Let's go. Oh, well, huh. Let's go back. Let's go back to the girls because I got Camille on my mind. Let's have some fun with Camille.
Which one's Camille? Which one's Camille?
Camille, she's very fun. The Black Widow. The
Why
one
is she
coined
not
as the
on
Black Widow. She's
She's
the
not on
one.
my cheat sheet. Hold up.
She's the one that be leaving these men and thinks it's funny. The teacher? Is she a teacher?
Oh, there she is.
Yeah. So for me with her in the first episode where they were doing the casting, I couldn't really tell what I felt about her. I couldn't pick up anything. I thought she was a little bit too arrogant for me because again, I don't know her, but we talk about the show. I thought she was very fun and she does come from a bubbly spirit of love. I think she has colors and she's really unique, but I don't think it's cute to coin yourself as the Black Widow and, brag about, how many men you got to get engaged, but I'm known for leaving them. And it's like, I don't trust you. Like, you think that's cute. Like, you're sweet, you're fun, you're beautiful, and you have all that going on. And she even talked about how she is learning to love herself fully and all that. So I can see that in her actions, but she scares me. She's not serious. And that concerns me for the guys on the show.
I think everything she said and did was a front of protection mechanism. I think by declaring I'm the Black Widow, this is how I control situations. This is how I succeed, but I don't succeed. I think that was her protection mechanism to come off like that. As you spoke about it, I came to that realization because at first I thought it was funny. And then I was like, oh, she's not kidding. And then as you get to watch her, you see how she's very, it concerns me how calculated she is because it makes me wonder if by her actions, what she's trying to do is Black Widow hook so that she can let go after she's had her feast. And to me, that's concerning for her because if she wants love, that's not what it consists of, right? And even when I just look at her picture right now, like on my little cheat sheet of the thing you sent me of all the girls on one page, and if I just look into her eyes, she's a teacher, right? The fun teacher.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a look of like a lack of I want to say depth of like emotional intelligence depth. It seems she doesn't feel confident from this place. And I think she is. She's an artist. I think she
Mm-hmm.
is. But I don't think she's been able, and she obviously she is in her craft and her career. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
kids don't usually love people that aren't lovable, right? Her kids love her.
Period. Correct.
Period. But I
Yeah.
think she's really learning how to, I think she's learning how to be herself, and I don't think we're seeing her yet. I don't think she's even
Nope.
knows who she is yet.
I agree.
And I think those cover ups are, pardon me, are
Mm-hmm.
really helping her keep those walls up. I hope the show can help bring them down. I don't want to see her go yet, but the further we've gotten into the episodes, I'm sorry, choking on my spit. I feel like I'm not sure if I want her to stay around that long. But when we talk like this and we think about who she is psychologically, I kind of do want to see if she does take this opportunity to let hold of the grasp that she holds on to things just to feel secure. You know?
Yeah.
Pardon
No,
me.
you nailed it. And right now, what I'm not seeing from her, and what I hope to see, which would not only make good TV but be good for her, is right now it doesn't seem like she has the willingness. She has a
Yes, there you go.
pre-planned
That's the
game
perfect word.
plan.
Yep.
Like she's in. To me, she's in it to like play the game and do what she does, like you said, and controlling. And
Repeat. Restart,
correct.
restart, repeat. Right.
Rinse and repeat, because it's worked for her in the past in a particular way. It
We all
probably
can relate
feeds
to
her
that.
ego. Oh,
We all can relate to that.
absolutely.
Not shunning her,
Absolutely.
just an observation, right?
Shining the light on, what it is that we see. And I think that this could be an opportunity for her to break a pattern. So I'd like to see something happen that
Totally.
switches her energy.
I would love to see that click, that switch of awareness happen in her on the show.
Yes.
It'd be awesome. Because I do think someone like her deserves love and wants it.
Oh, absolutely. Everyone
We
on
all
the show
deserve
deserves love. Yeah.
Right.
So
we all
we're
do.
there
Right,
for
right.
that.
But meaning like I think she wants it more deep down than she's letting on. And I think this is a great opportunity for her.
Because she's also the only one I feel like that hasn't had the sniffly tears yet and having a moment of really exposing something deep. We know Sabrina has been bamboozled. We know Aisha had a cheating husband after 11 years. We know Tyrone's plight. We know some of people's weaknesses and,
we don't know hers yet.
vulnerabilities. I don't even feel close. She's too busy being, which is not bad, it's good, but she's just too busy with the front, the facade, or the character.
To be fair, too, I don't think we quite really truly understand her strength yet either.
Well, yeah. Well, that's the
You know
thing.
what I mean?
If you don't let people understand your weakness, you block the understanding of your strength too. Nothing can get in if you're, So I agree. I would love to see that.
Okay, so if we were just to kind of make it like a little prediction right now, because I'm feeling the vibes of this. If you were to think one guy, which one guy do you think could, be good for her in the cast? It's absolutely not Homeboy that she's obsessed with, and that's why she's obsessed with him, because she knows it's not good for her.
It's not good. It's so obvious he is not for her. It's not going to work, and she's so fixated. And like you said, she's got him in this cocoon, and she wants
Cornelius.
to feast. And it's Cornelius. It's not going to leave that.
She wants
Christian
the baby
man
spider.
alone.
She wants the little baby Christian spider who's going to abide and do everything she wants, because then she'll feel powerful and in control. But that's not the point of this experience. That's not the point of what. It's not really why you signed up for this show, right? You want change. So, who do you think?
I mean, to be honest, I wonder if Walter. I want Walter to remain in some of the other. There's two people that I like for Walter already, but as far as who can crack the code when it comes to Camille and her, thing, I feel like Walter has the posture for it. Like I feel like he's seen this before. I don't feel like he would be so phased or swayed, but like, I can't see Camille treating Walter like she does Cornelius. Don't touch him, and he's mine, and move your hand. And I can't see him see him dealing with that.
Yeah.
So that's my guess. Who do you think?
I don't know. I really have no idea. It's going to be someone that can bring that awareness to her of the way she's acting, as opposed to supporting it, enabling it. And I don't mean in a facetious or a mean way, but more of a encouraging way, I understand what you mean by Walter, because I feel like he communicates to her the way that would be coming
He's
off.
not going to play to the antics.
Yeah. Someone like Cornelius is going to take it all day. Um, you know,
I'm just kidding.
I want to say Naeem. I don't know much about him enough.
Yes. Let's talk about him, because I'm with you on that, actually.
You know, like I feel, I don't know. So this, I love the host, or the couple that was successful last time, or was the host that were like, watch him end up with some girl that's all beat and done up, right?
Yeah, Liz and Jason.
Liz and Jason, they're great. They're adorable. They're so
Yeah,
cute.
they're cute. I like that. I like their journey.
Yeah, and I feel like he kind of is not really into something more. Yeah. Anyways, let's talk about him.
Yeah, Naeem, I'm with you. I really don't have enough of a read on him yet. He's had some moments, but none that have stuck out to me. And not because he's not a good man or doesn't stick out, but I just don't think, with all of the other storylines being so much at the forefront right now, I'm not really getting enough of Naeem to really be able to grasp anything. Even in my notes, when we were looking through the casting episode, all I put down is he doesn't like a woman with lots of makeup. So I couldn't grab anything about him,
He's charming. He's great at making it feel like it's a light environment to flirt and to be. And he's good at dating. You can tell he's good at dating. But I just
like that.
wonder if he has enough for more. I think he might, but I just wonder if he really has enough for more. I haven't seen that yet. We're newly into the season.
Yeah,
I'm ready. I'm ready and willing to be surprised by everybody. I love that.
Yeah.
To be surprised. But yeah, not much to talk about him.
No. So moving right along.
Can we go to Lamont, though, and how that was the perfect person to drop out first?
Let's talk about Lamont. I really wanted to give you a chance. Like, I really wanted to, because he divorced a cheater, but I can tell. And that's what makes it hard.
Yes. He's not ready.
Yeah.
He's not ready.
No.
That's the great thing about the show. I really do think they do nail it in the sense of who's not ready, because I was really ready for Corey to go. I was like, can Corey please
with his copy and paste? Yeah.
I mean, can you go? But obviously the producers and everybody saw past that facade he's putting on. And I think Lamont was definitely the right choice. He's not open and available. When he started doing his spoken word poetry, he was talking about his penis and stuff already. And I was like, that was like in the second sentence. And I'm like, I ain't opposed to somebody talking about their penis real quick at all. By any means.
I mean, right.
But the way that it came off, he seems very heady. He just seems very heady. He seems very heady.
That's what it is. And he's heady because heady people are still working to protect themselves. And I 100%. Completely understand, because, again, being married to a cheater, when you're under the covenant of marriage, like, it ain't boyfriend, girlfriend. It hurts when you're in a situationship and somebody steps out. So it's just like, to have committed. And I know sometimes men, just to commit to somebody like that and have them step out on you, it's traumatizing. And I love that they picked him for the show. Hopefully it kind of warms his pot and jumpstart him a little bit, just being around the women and getting the feedback and having the conversations. But there was nowhere to go with him.
I would love for him to get on the next season.
Yeah,
I would love
maybe.
for him to be brought back in the season. Because I look at the picture of him on the Oprah.com website where we have the list of the cast. And I like his smile. I like his eyes. I just don't think he's well versed in dating. Like you said, he's still injured, so he doesn't know how to let down. He's acting from a guarded place still. Yeah. But I think maybe this experience watching himself, he's very heady. He's very intelligent.
Yeah.
I think that bringing him on the next season would be really beneficial for him. I could see him going a really long way the next season if he does take this, like I think he's capable of, and grow from it.
And maybe get some therapy, and not like you need therapy, but to honestly give himself a chance to peel back some of his own layers so he can see himself. Yeah. I was watching another show, just Love and Marriage Huntsville, which is another favorite of mine. But one of the gentlemen kind of gave us a peek into his therapy session. And it was a man speaking with another man. And there were things that this therapist said where you could see the guy he was giving the therapy to, like, his mind was blown. It's like some of the stuff he was sharing with him, he just couldn't believe, like, it was such a revelation for him. And so I think that Lamont, with a little bit of revelation, a little bit of hand holding through the dark, it would be nice to have him back next season to see. So he genuinely has a chance in a unique way. I think people would love that.
Yeah, you said it perfectly, for sure.
Yeah. And I love that he said he was okay with a confident woman. You know, sometimes, you know, there's like such this fussy fight right now going on with women are too independent and they're this and that. He does seem like somebody.
It's been going on forever.
Yeah, you know how it goes. But I really see him appreciating a woman who is very, maybe not. What's the girl's name? Zaida. She was very Zydia. God, Lord, girl, I'm butchering your name, but you know who I'm talking about.
Yep.
He seems like he can handle a woman like that, a woman who's very much like, oh, I'm a boss, I'm gonna get mine, and we talk smack and we go back and forth. She's a lot in her own way, and I just feel like, you know, he's somebody who can handle somebody who does all that.
Yeah, he's intelligent enough to know that, which is really great, and I think a strong woman would work really well for him. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Beneficial.
That'd be perfect for him. He can hold space for somebody who's like, I'm a boss, I'm confident, and like. Yep. He can hold space for that.
Can we go to Libba, who also was eliminated the first episode as well, really quick?
Oh, Libba, yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. Oh, Libba.
I know.
God bless her heart.
Like, she too, I think. I feel like they both should be brought back.
Yeah, that would be cute.
Season,
I'm gonna need Libba. She can take a break. I mean, she's been married for like 20 years. It's single season time for Libba.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you. I think she should like travel the world, do some like, just do a lot of self things alone,
Yes.
Go backpacking, go into the desert, go to the mountains, just a lot of alone time. When you're with somebody for that long, it's hard for their thoughts not to become yours. And I think in this experiment, that probably would have not benefited her, having other thoughts in her mind still that don't really create her existence, but from her experience were a part of it. Yeah. And she was sweet. I mean, I liked her from the jump. I wanted her to go far. She is lighthearted, but the guys are right. She doesn't know how to dig deep in yet. And how could she? She was with him for 20 years. She was still so young when they met. She hasn't emotionally matured.
No. That's the emotional maturity and being able to communicate with the opposite sex and have fun dating is a sharpening. That happens over time by actually engaging in the act of things. Yeah. And it's funny that you mentioned she needs to do things alone. There's something double there because she used to sleep in separate rooms with her husband. They didn't sleep in the same room.
Oh, sure.
So there's something there with together but alone. She needs to be alone. There's something there because I think she also mentioned she wants to meet like her twin flame and da-da-da.
She's the one that said twin flame. She did. She did.
Yeah.
I loved that.
There's a disconnect for me somewhere when it comes to being alone and being together. Like I see her needing the alone time, but I also see that even though she was in this relationship, she didn't get. There's something she really didn't get.
Yeah, she didn't. It feels like she was alone in it. And I think that's why alone time would be beneficial for her to see that, like to have that experience alone outside of it will allow her to cultivate her truth, because I can only imagine, I could be wrong, I know nothing about them, but trying to put on for somebody else is probably a part of her being alone, because no matter what she did, she probably couldn't connect and be in a partnership. That's gonna make me
cry.
I mean, I don't know these people at all, but it would make sense to why that she would still feel unaware.
Yeah, there's an unawareness and a childlike, even for somebody as grown as her. And I'm not saying not to talk about twin flame, but I just think that in the context that she speaks about it, it's still just kind of wanting this young crush type of thing, and she did talk about how the DC dating scene is fun but competitive. So there is this performative aspect to what she's doing, because she's in her head in a different way. I feel like she's And I don't know her either, but maybe this, I don't know how she had to perform for her husband or get his attention or do whatever, but there's something of that that's spilling over.
That's what I was trying to say. I think she
Yeah.
kept getting lost and trying to be something else for somebody else this whole time.
Correct.
And I think, you know what, I'm going to just off of intuition, say that she, like you were right. She put on in the sense that she thought she had to just to be competitive.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think she is emotionally available, but does just need some time alone still.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
And there's nothing wrong with wanting a twin flame, but I hope she is aware that the twin flame journey is actually more arduous than it is anything else.
Girl, be careful what you ask for. Watch your words.
So, and the twin flame journey is not going to just happen right away. There's a separation that's involved. And to get to even be in a twin flame situation, she has to be aware of herself authentically, not putting on for somebody else.
Correct.
Because you won't attract your twin flame if you're putting on for somebody else. You attract your twin flame when you're actually being authentic for the first time in your life, but then you realize how much growth that authenticity needs to actually be fulfilling for yourself, because that other person is reflecting that in some way. Then a separation happens and blah, blah, blah. And you learn a lot. So she still has some time.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And even with this
sweetheart.
She's so sweet.
Sweetheart.
Pure-hearted. Whoever she gets is going to be good with her. She has all
of the things. She deserves a really good man.
Yeah, and a really good man deserves her.
100%.
Yeah. So she has it. She has all of that. And a season of alone time will attract everything that she needs. Gosh, maybe she goes through a twin flame situation and then comes back on the show. Like, oh, now I know Libba. Okay. Yeah. Libba is here.
Yes.
Let's see Libba for real.
Show me up, Libba. Show me up, Libba.
Show Libba. Show us Libba. Anybody popping in? Let's talk. We didn't talk about Cornelius. Let's jump to some of these guys. Okay. So, when I watch the show, I kind of think about like, what if I was one of the women on here? Could I, And there were 3 guys that I thought I could, whatever. And Cornelius was one of them, but not because, well, you know how picky I am and I get really weird about weird things, but I don't know. At the same time, sometimes I'd be wanting to feel safe. And he feels safe. He has a nice smile. There's something about him
that's interesting.
He's a little bit he's a little feminine for me. And I don't want to say feminine, like, but guys from the South.
No, he's
those
feminine.
Those church boys, I don't know.
No, he's feminine.
Okay.
That's what's interesting to me is that he makes you feel safe, but yet he has a feminine energy.
That's interesting because he's so convicted about the Lord and he had the parents and the thing. He don't want to have sex before marriage. So it's like automatically you feel like, oh, he's not going to take advantage of me because he knows he's answering to the Lord. Not really the best place to be choosing a man from, but that's my confession for today.
Look, I think he is really immature still. He just exudes childlike behavior, lack of awareness. He's letting
sheltered.
He's letting yes, and I think intentionally. He's letting Camille run all over him. And if you notice, it's all the strong women that are attracted to him because he's kind of feels like I'm not trying to talk shit, but he just seems like he's a little bit of a pushover. Just seems a little like he's just not. Those muscles and all that, it's really great. The smile.
There we go.
Sorry about that. That was my.
No, I don't know what that is. Oh, okay.
Phone. Anyways, I don't think he's ready. I think he's great TV. I think he has a lot of growing up to do. It feels like he's living in the shadow of what he's supposed to be to fulfill other people's needs. I don't think he's being honest with himself and what's really best for him. And I don't think, to be honest with you, any of these women would support that on the show.
No, they won't. I don't see anybody for him. He has the smile and the muscles and the kindness playing for him. But as far as what a woman or the women that I see really needing a man to commit for life, not there yet. There's a shelteredness. There's an immature. And I don't mean immature like he's ridiculous, but just immature, like, because I come from a Christian background and there's a lot of stuff that had me walking away from the church because of the way things are taught. It's a shelteredness and it's like, you don't want to be kept from living life. You don't want to be kept from the real world. You don't want to be kept from being thrown. There's a sharpening that he's missing, experience wise, that just would make me like, how is he going to maneuver? I don't know, because he's cutting himself off from so much. Yeah.
It's so interesting because everything you're saying right now is so accurate and so on, but yet, including yourself, all these women were drawn to him. So there's still something about the fact that it's his physicality. Is it his muscles? Is it his smile?
Yes.
Is it the fact that he seems like you can kind of run all over him a little bit?
Well, I can look in the mirror after this is over and address that. Because I don't really want a guy that I can run all over. It's like, you think you want that in theory, but I personally want a man who could be the head of the household. I'd be tired. I'd be so tired if I had to do that.
I'm not saying that he's not strong, he's not masculine, any of those things. I'm not talking shit on him. I'm just saying, this is an observation that I'm noticing.
Correct. No, you're right. Yeah.
But yeah, that's all. I'm kind of. Yeah, he's kind.
The kindness is nice too.
Yeah.
He does. He seems
very genuine.
He's almost like prey. Cornelius, are you prey?
He is. He is like homegirl's a black widow, and he's in like the mantis family. He is like the prey for the praying mantis females, because praying mantis females also eat the men as well. And he just seems like a praying mantis man. Like a woman could eat him up, and I don't think that's actually going to be healthy for him. I don't think that's actually a fit for him in many ways.
But you were right with he's being who he thinks he's supposed to be, because I don't think that's who he really is.
I don't think so at all.
And maybe that juxtaposition and dynamic is also what is subconsciously drawing certain type of women to him as well.
He's still trying to fit the picture in the coloring book of what it is to be a Christian man from a pastor's background that goes to church every day. I don't think he's found his identity outside of that yet. And I think if he were to step outside and find his identity outside of that, I think he's probably a whole different person than he's allowing himself to be.
Yeah. Well, I really hope he finds that, because he deserves it.
He seems like such a nice guy. Did I lose you? It's all me. Oh, it's a lot of my face on the TV. Where'd you go? Sorry, we're having technical difficulties. We'll be back. Oh, there she is. Hello. Okay, we're back.
Yes.
Seems like a really nice guy. Really, really, really nice guy.
Absolutely.
He's another that needs to go on a self journey. Needs to go backpacking through the Appalachian Mountains, or just something crazy. Is that a mountain range? I think it is. But you know what I mean.
Yeah, he needs to be thrown to the wolves a little bit.
Yeah. And I understand. I understand the whole. I'm a country boy from a small town. I get that. It does, just because I'm saying go throw yourself in the woods and to the wolves and in this world doesn't mean you have to lose yourself in that. I think that will strengthen your discernment for being a humble country boy more than anything else.
But sometimes you got to lose yourself to find yourself. So I wouldn't be mad at him losing himself a little bit.
Well, I've already said what I think about that. So yeah, I think he does. I don't think he's aware of who he is.
Yeah. All right, Corn. All right, Corn. We rooting for you.
What do I know though? What do I know? Oh my God, I'm totally rooting for him. He seems like, I'm looking at his picture. He's such a nice guy.
Sweet. He's so great.
He's so handsome. Yeah. He's so sweet. You can tell he's a standout kind of guy.
Yeah. Well, we'll find, he's another one like, oh wow. Well, maybe
he'll grow. On the show.
Just like I said about Camille, I want to see that other side of her, that switch. Same with him. And since they're both the ones, I would love to see something different from him too.
Yep.
Because he's been on. Yeah. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Who else we got? There's somebody else on your mind? Because there's a few other people here. I do like. Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
I do like Moomin.
Hang on.
Moomin.
I do too. I think we like her because we relate to her. She is an artist entrepreneur, essentially.
I love that.
Right?
Yes.
She is lighthearted. She's fun, but she does. I think she lacks. This show is really good for her. I think this show is perfect
Absolutely.
for her.
Yes.
I think it's going to teach her a lot about what it's like to have to be intimate this many times in a row and not focus just on her career for a second.
Oh my God. Great
And,
call.
you know, but yes, I like her. I'm looking at her picture right now. She just exudes light. There's a lightness to her. She's beautiful. She's just, you can tell she's an artist. It's really fun.
Yeah.
I feel like she's going to end up with one of these guys on here, but who is it? Who do you think she could end up with?
Well, gosh,
this is me making a prediction again, which I don't know if I'm doing this right. Again, I'm sorry, I'm a virgin at this.
No, you're good. This is a conversation. And I definitely, to be honest, I really like what her and Walter had. The whole stop and smell the roses.
You love everybody that had something with Walter. Have you noticed that yet? You said that 3 times about 3 different girls.
Well,
is he going to just have a convent? What is it? He's just going to have like a whole like
commune?
Yeah. Whatever.
Oh, I don't know.
You're just going to have them lined up?
Well, see, here's the thing.
Or, whatever you do, but.
Right. Hey. But this is the thing, because I'm glad you called that out, because I also realized that he's the type of person, it's his posture. It's the type of man that he is to me, that I feel like he is out here bringing the best out of every chick he comes across.
Yeah.
Every girl. Yeah.
Which, when you say that, it's concerning to me, because I'm wondering if that's what he's good at.
Oh, God. He was on my list too.
I wonder if that's what he's good at. And that's why he hasn't been able to be in a relationship.
We haven't caught him up yet.
You know what I mean? And
yes,
I'm not saying
do.
that's not a negative thing at all. That just shows that he's still unwilling to be, he's still injured probably. Still injured a little bit. Obviously.
The fact that first of all, I love his story.
Oh, I love it.
I mean, he's overcome. Yeah.
Even when you look at his picture, it's just those eyes are just, they're deep. There's depth.
A lot.
And there's sincerity and there's kindness and there's awareness. He's just like, I told you, I was like, I could see you with somebody like Walter.
Me too. Walter, I don't know if it's going to work. We find
if it don't work out for one of these other people, Walter, hit up Jaimi Alexander. I think you guys would be a really cute pair. Unless you're already married to somebody on the show, we just don't know yet. So I take that back. And I'm not trying to disrespect any of these women. But
just a little side note.
Just in the sense that, he's in tune with his childish nature that is healthy.
I love that. Absolutely.
His inner child, he's absolutely in tune with that.
Yes.
You are as well. But he's still, he's emotionally intelligent. He's aware. He's a good man. He's a good man, and he is ready.
Yeah.
He's ready.
Yeah.
Was that our talk on Walter?
That was our talk on Walter. I think you nailed it.
I'm looking forward to seeing what else he brings to the table. He's going to break a lot of women's hearts. That's for sure. Because it's going to be hard for him not to. I really like him and Sabrina.
I really like him and Sabrina, but I really liked the chemistry he had with Mumin. Let me see Mumin.
I did too, because you could tell he made her feel safe.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I think it's his effect on the other women, on the women.
You could tell he makes them all feel safe. He allows people to feel, he makes sure that they feel safe.
He's mastered that, and not safe in the sense, not in a creepy type of, it's who he is. It's who he's become. Well,
but I think with Mumin, I don't think she is as, hasn't had as much life to live as Sabrina. And I think he needs somebody that, that moment I think they're not showing, look, I'm just giving a disclaimer on how I think things are random when it comes to TV, because I've been doing this for 30 years. Right. I think they're not showing us Walter and Sabrina because they're saving it for later, because that connection they had was
already, that's her man. It's her man.
He heard her. He saw her, vice versa. They're fucking gorgeous. They're both gorgeous. Like, how could
she has a child? He wants a child.
How could they not end up together? Who knows? But you know what I'm saying. Anyways.
What about Naeem for Mumin? I would like to see their interaction. They haven't gone out yet.
You know what? I think that's a winner.
That could be cute.
I think so too. Like she's probably a little more glam.
Yeah.
But I think that's what he secretly probably wants anyways. Like they were saying.
Yeah, exactly.
He seems like a Leo. He seems like a man Leo who's like that confident, chill Leo man. Because there's the psycho Leos and there's like the really calm, chill Leo. He seems like that, and I think a Leo with someone like her who's gonna perform entertainer would be really beneficial. Oh, have they gone on a date yet? They
No,
have
I
to.
don't think they've seen each other yet.
Oh, I would
No.
love to see what that's going to be like. I
Yeah,
hope we get to see that.
I think we will. That makes perfect sense to me, actually. Ooh, I
Yeah.
like that.
Hmm.
Matchmaker,
Are you writing down our
match.
predictions? We'll have to watch it back to see, like, so we can, each week see how we.
No, we need to. And if not, I'll play it back. And then whatever happens, I can pull our clip and be like, oh,
We're getting to
this.
We're getting to an hour. Is this getting long?
We're getting to our hour. No, it's a conversation. We're good. We'll pull bits and pieces from it. People have been in and out of here. I'm sure they're enjoying the conversation. Cool. Let's see. How many people have we haven't talked about Carrington, Dante, Tasia, Courtney, and that was it. So any of those, how are you feeling about?
I'm gonna go with Tasia. Because
you read in my brain. Let's talk about Tasia, please.
We always there. I think she's going home this next episode.
I think it's time for her to go home.
I think so.
Love you, girl, but no, well.
So if y'all haven't figured it out or not yet, like I can look in people's eyes and I feel like I can see them, and I'm looking in her eyes and there isn't she's not happy enough yet.
I was just about to say, I don't mind saying it. It looks like she got a lot of issues.
Yes.
I don't even think I could be friends with her.
Yeah,
I don't feel safe being friends with her.
Not in the space of what she is right now, which we see. Like,
correct.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah.
There's something about her that frightens me.
In my 20s, I would have been friends with her because I would have been like, I'm the one that's going to help her and make her feel better and fix her. But not when you're, almost 40. That's not. Yeah, she has a lot of work to do on herself. And you know what though? I have hope for her because when I look at her eyes, there's glimmers of hope in her eyes. And maybe the show, watching it back, she'll be able to learn and move from it, or she's going to be the opposite and never be able to see it, kind of. You know what I mean? Like, I can't tell.
She can't see herself. She cannot see herself.
Well, I don't think she wants to. That's the part that's hard.
There's something there. Because it's like, I watched her in the first. Yeah. First of all, her referring to her, her body, and she's the girl next door, and she likes medium ugly guys. There's just so many things that made sense, but were just a little bit off. And then in her first interactions, the way she was just grilling Carrington with these super boring questions, just like, oh, so you looking for somebody, and did you cheat on them? So
all
you ready to not cheat? It just didn't.
That's a bad word. I don't like that word. It's insecurity, and I mean it as that, but I don't mean it as that.
We've all had insecurities, and
it's an insecure way to move. It's because it's what you're trying to do is control the outcome, which is fundamentally insecure about moving, right? It's interesting though. I liked her interview. I thought it was cute. I was like, well, she knows what she likes.
It was cute. It was cute.
She's confident.
She's cute.
She's beautiful.
Yeah.
She's confident. All the things. And it wasn't until I saw her interact with the other people where I was able to see that what we see,
because this is why I say that too, because we have done a lot of work on ourselves, Gus. We have done a lot of work. We've been through a lot of things. And that's why I feel like, I'm only saying what I'm saying about her because I can see it in myself. And I know, and not even like I've evolved to the epitome of perfection. It's just like your experiences and your reactions are always mirrored in what is really going on within you. And I was a little disappointed, but not surprised, when she was on the chopping block, but didn't get cut. She didn't take it well. You know what I mean? Like the fun and the cuteness and the whatever, it kind of went away. And to her defense, I'll speak as a woman, and I know it's people, but as a woman, it's very hard to be rejected. So I understand. I mean, the rejection is tough. So I'm giving her grace with like, yeah, that was a hard thing, girl. But I just feel like the way she responded to it, it was just going to be doomed from here on out because you've already locked into to the rejection and to the I don't know what's wrong with y'all, I'm about to get up out of here, so why did you it changed, it accentuated what was already there, but it brought it out and then bounced off the mirror, and now we're in this place where it's like,
if she ever watched this, or if I ever I wouldn't be able to tell it to her because she wouldn't want to probably hear it. But I think the thing that would probably be the most impactful and do the most good for her would to be focusing on being lighthearted.
Yeah, there's a lot of weight there. That's what you're saying behind her eyes.
I've been her. I've been insecure, so
Yeah.
I've grilled guys when I'm talking to them, and I'd be like, "Oh, you doing this because of this? Oh, you can do this? It's
Been
a
there.
program. It's my DNA. It's what I knew." So I understand that I've been there as well. So I'm not judging her. It's just what I see, and I know when I was in that headspace, that me focusing on just being more lighthearted was really beneficial because that actually allowed me to see that I was being heavy more often than not.
Wow.
So if I could ever give her any kind of advice, it would just be more genuinely lighthearted with everything.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean don't take it serious and all those things. And look, I get it. She's starting a business and that's pressure. And she's obviously a little insecure about that. We all are when we're doing our regular business or starting a business. I understand it. She's human. She's great for the show. I think we all needed to be reminded of that.
Yeah.
Component of what we were at one point. And also, you know what? Cheering for her. I cheer for someone like her.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. I think there's so much potential there.
She's gorgeous.
She's
smart.
She's a beautiful woman. She's smart. She knows she wants an alpha man and a provider. But you're right. It's just
she needs to be
to her recipe. Too. Oh yeah.
I could see her with someone who's 50. You know what I mean? Like
yeah. I like that. Huh. I was like, did she say anything? She did say dating her is an experience. So that was cute. That's what I want to see more. You know what I'm saying? The lightheartedness. In order to be an experience, like I feel like you got to be invite that light. And you know what? She might very well be a little more lighthearted because I can't say what it is. It's already hard enough to date. I can't speak to dating on national television 100%. When you got 19 other people around you. So
100%. 100%.
Kudos to everybody.
But when watching this back, when she watches it back, like the only way to handle that better is just to be lighthearted.
Yeah.
Be light with it. And that doesn't mean that you're not being intentful or having an intention moving forward, or it's just perspective wise. It doesn't have to be deep and heavy all the time. Let it be lighter so that it can open you up. Because when you're lighthearted, your heart opens.
Men love that too. People are attracted to that. It's like a moth to a flame when you're lighthearted.
Absolutely. Yeah,
because she took the rejection into all the dates after. Like she would even show up to the date. Like,
yes. Yeah, she holds on. She's holding on to a lot. She's not.
Yeah.
So it makes sense why it could feel heavy, holding on to so much still.
Yeah.
All right. I want the best for her. I hope she does well in life. Can we go to one of my favorite on the show really quick?
Please, let's do it.
How
are you
Aisha.
doing on time? Yeah. Okay.
I'm doing good on time. I just don't want these people or this to be the longest video
you're
live.
Fine.
But we're also doing 4 episodes, so it makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
We're doing a whole thing.
Exactly.
I love Aisha.
I love Aisha.
I want to be
really
Aisha's
cute.
friend. She's the homie.
Yeah, she's the homie. God bless her.
She is.
Yeah.
I wrote some stuff about her. I want to get this right because I said a couple things that I really like that I said about her.
So she was the one that was married for 11 years. She has 3 kids. Unfortunately, her man couldn't be a big man. And she wants a man that could love every part of her, which is beautiful.
She knows what she wants.
Mm-hmm.
She's self-aware.
Yeah. Yes. She's been through the fire.
Aisha's a total package.
Yeah.
She's a total package.
Absolutely.
She's a total package.
And she's another one bringing out the best of every guy she connects with.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I like homie. Like I want to be friends with Aisha.
She's so real.
She's so real.
She's taken the mix of being married, of being
a mother,
a homegirl, and a woman.
And a business owner.
Put that in a rest. Like she has.
She's really, like she deserves a round of applause. And to still be that, because she has that lightheartedness, which I'm speaking of.
Absolutely.
But it doesn't mean that she is oblivious to reality.
Correct.
She knows how to move between the two and dance it accordingly. It's really cool. I really like her. I hope she's on the show for a while. Like let's go with a prediction on her. Who are you thinking? Like who?
Oh man. Do I even think her man is on this show?
I don't know either. He might be watching it.
He might be watching. He might be ready to slide in some DMs if he hasn't
Yeah,
already.
if that's the case, I can't wait to see what happens with her. I think she's awesome.
I do too. Gosh, I'm looking through my men here, and I'm not really. I have to be honest. I'm not really seeing a man right now that stands out to me that would be a great match for Aisha.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously not because of who anybody is, but just she is something special. She is she gives me the same vibes almost as Sabrina. I know they've been through different things,
Yeah,
but that
totally.
refinement is special.
It's a perfect word for it. Refined. They're
Yeah.
refined.
Yeah. So if that man ain't already
She's gonna be
coming
good.
out,
She's gonna be
good.
more than okay. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
good people.
Everybody gonna be knocking on her door. So I love that. I can't believe we took so long to get to her. She's like one of the top notch.
She's like well, yeah. Her and Sabrina are my two favorites so far.
Yeah, I think for the girls, I'm with you on that. Aisha and Sabrina. I do like Zadia. There's something about her I like. I think I
Let's
like
talk
that
about her.
she knows who she is. I think what I like is that she's like, I do believe she's transparent. I see that. I'm not into the whole boss chick thing, but I believe she carries that well for who she is. And then that she's like, oh, I'm a shit talker. Da, 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 da. I feel like a man would have a great time with her. Like she's I want to know more.
She's a guy. She's a girl's guy, a guy's girl.
Yeah,
whatever it's called.
exactly. You know what I'm saying? And she's very beautiful. She always shows up looking snatched. She's very, I don't want to say regular because that's not the word, not like basic, but she's just not too way over here, not too way over there, but just.
She reminds me of Brandy.
Brandy, who for like the singer?
Mm-hmm, Norwood.
Ray J's brother,
Yeah.
Ray J's sister.
Yes.
Oh my God. Okay, I get that.
When I'm looking at her picture right now on the.
I definitely can see that. What do you think about her and her?
I have different opinions.
Oh, let me hear.
I knew we were gonna have this, though. I was like, when I'm looking at my notes, I was like, we're gonna disagree on who. Let's see. I feel like she has walls up.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Like I feel like her walls are up. What else did I say? She seems a little hard, like a little hardened.
She is. Okay, I see that. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I don't want this to come off harsh, but I don't know how likable she is. She just seems like it seems like there's a wall up and she's hardened, so it doesn't allow me to really want to embrace her and like her. But that could just because she's very emotionally intelligent probably, and she's taking her time and easing her way into the process and to show. I wouldn't be surprised if by the end I love her. But up to episode 4 and the way that she is on dates, like when she was it with Donta she went on a date with, or was it with Naeem?
She went on a date with Naeem and Tyrone. I'm trying to remember who else, but those two stick out to me.
Yeah, like especially with Naeem, it was hard for me to watch.
That was hard.
It was hard for me to watch.
There. That was hard.
Yeah,
that was hard.
It was hard for me to watch.
Absolutely.
But you know what? That's not hers or his fault. Maybe that's just because that's just how it was.
So, but Naeem did a great job.
Oh, he was fantastic.
He did a great job. He did a great job holding space for it. So yeah, I put that he compliments her. He was attentive. He had a sexy vibe and smile. He still made space for her, even though it wasn't like fireworks. And Frank does the same thing. Frank did the same thing when he went out with Tasia. She was terrible. It wasn't pleasant, but he made it. He made space. Yeah.
They know how to. Naeem and Frank really know how to treat women. I feel
they
like.
Do.
Whether or not they have been players in the past or not, they probably have. I want to jump to a conclusion and say Frank and Naeem were players, but I think because of that, they're men that have learned, and so now they know how to actually treat a woman.
I like that.
That's kind of what I gather from the two of those.
Yeah, and my prediction for you, for some reason, by the end, I think you are gonna like Zadia a little more.
I think so too, because that's usually how it is with me.
I don't know. Yeah.
You know, in real life, I'm kind of like, I don't know if I like them, and then I
like
give
BFF.
them time, and I'm like BFF. Yeah, totally. Because I'm friends with mostly all my women friends are strong women.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it makes sense.
Yeah, and then even when you spoke to her walls being up, I see her as more as guarded, and I'm seeing that differently, because walls being up seems a little bit more impenetrable, but you did speak to her kind of like walking the path a little bit, and she's a little more cautious. She's a little more calculated. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. I do think she's guarded, but not in a way where you'll never get transparency from her. I think she's playing her cards, which as as somebody who is opening themselves up to all this energy is not a bad idea. But yeah, I think she'll evolve. Her character will evolve for sure. We'll see more from her.
I could totally see that happening for sure. And good for her. I think she's intelligent enough to know that she has to, though. She has to open up and evolve if she wants to be on the show. So
there you go.
Yeah, it's necessary. Who else have we not talked about yet?
Well, we briefly talked about Frank, and from the introductions, I didn't even write anything down about him. I like him. I think he's great. He has a great cocktail shake. I'm all about that artisanal cocktail life. So he gave us the...
And they're kombucha based, aren't they? Which is awesome.
He had all kinds of stuff going on. I think Frank and I would have a great time. Like, I could kick it with Frank and drink with Frank.
would absolutely be friends with Frank.
Me and Frank would be home.
I could be friends with Frank too. Frank seems like he's a fun, cool, self-aware, mature man. Like he knows how to navigate, and he's aware of his surroundings. He knows how to navigate through them to make sure that it's still the most optimal experience for himself and everyone around him. But he has to. So he does for a living. So
it's amazing. But that's such a beautiful thing.
He's mastered that. It's a really beautiful tool to have on your belt as well. His belt.
Yeah, I agree. He's very manly, very masculine, and I like that he does that. It's great.
Wasn't it him and Aisha that kind of hit it off?
Did I see Aisha? Did they go out?
Yes. You know what?
Oh, refresh
I really liked them together. They're the ones that were in the photo booth and then were being cute, taking pictures.
Gosh! Oh, that was
if anybody would be Frank,
if anybody would be Frank, and he enjoyed her so much.
You could tell they have a lot in common.
Present. Yeah. You know who else had great chemistry?
I would love that.
Yeah, that is. I completely forgot about the whole photo booth situation. You know what? I'm interested to see him talk more about that, because some of his other dates and experiences, they just haven't been memorable, and not to his fault, but
from the jump, he's been into Aisha too. From the jump.
Oh, he did, and he said that. I like that.
I do too. They'd be cute.
And they could be friends. If they don't make it as that, they might stay kicking it.
100%.
Yeah.
Courtney?
Oh yeah. Oh, our little sexual Leo.
She totally is. I appreciate her sexuality, because I like people that are in tune with that and aren't afraid to vocalize how they are and feel, especially as a woman, because I think they're a lot of the time looked down and frowned upon for having that type of a voice as what would be a normalcy for a man to have type of energy of speaking of sexuality. So I really appreciate that. She's definitely a Leo.
Yeah.
You know what? I think her and Corey would be good together.
There was no, and we're going to talk about Corey last, but I don't think so at all. Like, I mean,
I think they should go on a couple more dates. That's just my opinion. I think because I think she likes that. Look, we can jump into Corey really quick if you want to come back to Courtney.
Let's come back to Courtney. Corey, poor guy. Oh.
He is just putting on so hard. I was like, is he doing this for TV only? Is he really want to be here? Like, it's really hard to.
He drives me up the wall. I think because he's like a combination of all of the characters with all of the issues, and he just makes me crazy. It's like, I think Corey is the man who changed the tire for Mumin. I think he thrives.
100%.
He has to be comfortable to be normal. He needs to be in an environment. Like, he's somebody where I feel like, if he was just already in love with somebody and they could probably just rock. But him trying and whatever it is he's doing, it's driving me up the wall. I can't stand it, actually.
I despised him at first. I really did. Like, I was just mad that he was on the show, and I was like, oh, that's why he's on the show. But there's something I think I'm starting to see. There are layers that I think he got on the show because the casting saw that there are layers underneath him. I think there's something there. I do actually shockingly think he has potential. I do. It's weird. I don't
He
know
has
why.
potential. I just need him to relax.
I don't think he
It's
knows how to.
no, he doesn't know how to. Like, he gives me anxiety. Like,
And the
I
thing
feel
is,
uncomfortable watching him.
100%. Yes, that's spot on accurate. And the thing is, I don't know if I think he's probably felt that his whole life from people around him. And he doesn't know how to act
Yeah.
accordingly. There's like this lack of awareness of how to bring that into a relationship. But it is kind of actually weird that he's on the show, right? Because he doesn't seem ready. But I think
It's like, if you're going to be the oddball, be the oddball. But don't be the oddball that's trying to fit in and then and trying to carry a personality. And then all of
there's an
he's very weird.
there's an overly amount. I'm sorry, I can't say what I'm trying to say. He overdoes it. There's something that is just he's overly asking and needing attention for all the wrong reasons, and all the like everything has to be like da 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 da. It's kind of it lacks authenticity. I don't it lacks,
yes.
it lacks authenticity. I have this feeling that he could shock us. Actually, I don't know why. I just have a feeling he could shock us. I don't know why. I'm just gonna make that prediction. Miss Cleo came through to me right now.
I don't know, because even him and all this. Oh, my love language is physical touch. And then right when he sees Tasia, he's like holding her and he's like, I could go lower. Like, it's like he's got to stop with the creepy stuff. Even when he went out with Mumin, like, help me down, and he hops on behind her and is like, no, I'm a horse. And I cannot deal. Me and Corey, Sabrina had the same reaction. I've been like, stop trying to date me. Just get to know me. Stop trying to touch my butt. Stop trying to get in my face. Stop trying to, babe, chill.
All of it, 100%. 100 million percent. I'm glad you did. That's how I felt when I was watching the first episode. But for some reason, I'm feeling different right now.
I'm not mad at it. He deserves
love,
but like, dang. And just the whole copy paste, he was dead ass serious.
And that's kind of what concerns me. Hold up, it stings. That's what concerns me about it, is the fact that why does he want to copy and paste? Where does that come from?
He's playing the numbers game because
it's not a business.
He needs, and he's made it very clear, to pull a woman into his space. Then he feels like he knows what to do. So if he can copy paste the first time,
but that's never going to work, because it's about compromise. He has to, and it's obviously something he's lacking, is because even when they try to inform him of his actions not being healthy, he still doesn't know how to compromise and actually take it in. But maybe he will. I don't know. I'm feeling some way. Maybe he might shock us.
He's oblivious, because he's also like, well, I don't know what I did wrong. And I'm like, well, she told you.
But there are some women on here that are going to, I think, keep laying into him. And I think that's why the girls kept him, because I think they know if they keep laying into him, he feels like the little brother of the group.
He's a little brother. Aw.
Yeah,
he could be my little brother, because I don't hate the man. I love him. He's a cute guy. He's got a je ne sais quoi about himself, and 6
it's
feet,
just overly
six
put
pack,
on.
Six figures. It's
a lot put on.
Poor
it's
thing.
Too much.
And at 40 years old, I don't know.
Six pack, 6 figures, 6 foot. Shut up.
Poor guy. Well, let's just embrace Corey. Can we have a moment for the hug for the little brother?
Yeah.
Come on, little brother. It's gonna be okay.
Let's go to Carrington. Somebody that I really didn't like, actually. He seems insecure. He's
never
therapy.
been in a relationship.
He has issues with women. He has control issues. He needs the type of person that's going to just keep patting him on the back and being like, "It's okay. Yeah, you're right. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. You're right." He seems. It's concerning to me, because it makes me wonder if, kind of similar to Cornelius, if he actually knows himself.
He is definitely somebody. He seems like that other kind of Leo you were talking about. I don't know if he is one, but just very, or maybe even an Aries, actually. But
I was gonna say Aries.
Yeah, okay, I'm with you on that. But it's just like, I don't know what it is, because he seems like a bro. He's very much a guy's guy. But the fact that you're in nightlife, you've done this, and you've never been in a relationship.
That's why. That's it. Okay, I forgot he did that.
Events,
that makes so much sense. From the jump, I knew he wasn't capable. And then when you watch him on dates, he's not. Carrington was not ready to love. It was the very smart choice to take him off, and it was kind of really hard to watch when he was on that date with
It was
Camille. She handled him really well.
She did.
Really well.
She did. I felt bad because he thought, at first he was going to get a chance to like really kick it with her. That made me feel a little sad.
But all humans, I mean, it's probably not fun to be in a position that's,
Reject.
So, yeah. I mean, I face rejection every day, so I'm used to it, but it still doesn't get easier ever.
No.
So.
No. So as a person, I think he's probably a cool guy to kick it with, but I can't.
I think Carrington would be a homie, but that's all he's capable of at this point in his life.
Yeah. Where's the party at?
Yeah. You can count on him to make sure you're going to have a good time.
Kick it. He probably has great friends, this or that, but there was nothing,
Let's jump into Phil.
So I like Phil.
I do too.
He's sweet. He was on my top 3. So yeah. I do like Phil. I think he's handsome. I think he's kind. I don't think we've seen enough of him yet. Kind of like a Naeem situation. Those two have been playing the background a little bit. But he seems really sweet. And it's energetic for me. It's not that he said or did anything that was so over the top, but just his energy is like, I could cozy up to him.
You totally could. I feel like he would be another one that'd be good for you. When I look at his eyes in this picture right now, he just seems genuine and kind.
Yeah.
And he looks like he wants love. He looks like he wants to be loved too. Mm-hmm. I feel like he's going to work. I have this instinct that he's going to work hard at this. If that makes sense.
Shiloh is his boo. It's him and Shiloh for me. Shiloh, our intimacy coach. They're together.
100%.
We're done. They're together.
100%. We're kind of doing it all into a thing of our predictions and
I know.
I guess we can reiterate that, but I agree with you. I could completely see that.
It's so
when they were on that date, they were just, how like some couples too, they look alike.
Yeah, like they both look like teddy bears. They look like
they
bears.
Fit. They look alike, like they're in the same family or tribe.
Yeah,
and like they're meant to be together.
Yeah, yes.
And he has the type of soul that is soft and gentle and loving and light, but he's open still for expansiveness. And they're just enough opposite, and they're just enough alikeness.
Yes.
Yeah, I really like him. Really cool.
I love that.
Did we get everybody? Dante.
No, we didn't talk about Dante.
Is it Dante?
I think it's Dante, and we didn't talk about Carrie either. But those are also two people that are like.
I was ready for Carrie to go from the jump.
Yeah, she wasn't giving me anything. I don't know what it was.
She's. I'm just gonna say it simply. She's not ready.
And she was already married. She got married at 21.
She's not ready. She's like I'm looking at this picture. She's so pretty.
Oh, she's a beautiful woman.
Smile, those eyes, like she's gorgeous.
Yeah.
She's just not ready. You can tell she's still too injured, and she's just she's not. She doesn't know how to be the vessel of which she wants to be yet. She has some work to do, I think.
I feel that and also coupled with nobody there really fits her.
Yeah. I think she was trying to make things fit. And I wonder if that's just for the show purposes or if that's what she does in real life. That's what I mean when I feel like she's not ready. I couldn't figure it out.
That's something. Maybe she's like that in real life. Is she putting herself around a bunch of men that don't make sense?
And because she was still going after Tyrone. I just said no. Hey, I'm guilty of that. I go after guys that don't want me or not good for me. It's I've been in her shoes, and I wonder if she does that more than she should be doing.
It's something to that. Gosh, and I wonder where that comes from, because she did mention in her thing, which I really understood as she goes all wifey mode so soon. She's very she needs to reel it in and try to feel things out before she goes all I'm a cook for you. I'm a da-da-da. So I don't know.
Right. That was her. Right.
Yes.
Thank you for that reminder. Yeah. It's her friends are right. She needs to just take it easy. Another person that I think if she carried the intention of lightheartedness could be really beneficial for her.
And she's almost parallel to a Corey, not in behavior, but she's probably we haven't seen Carrie. we might go to Carrie's house and have a blast because she probably is
100%.
a bomb to kick it with.
She probably cooks under the table, down for the gods. Like she's yeah, she's totally somebody I could probably be friends with. But but she's also that friend though that I feel like I'd be having
to keep telling her
the same conversation over and over and over again, and eventually I'll stop being friends with you because you won't shut up about the same shit.
Yeah, I get that. Hey,
what do we know? We don't know her, but that's just from instinct.
You know, I feel that. I really do.
And then Dante, I don't know anything about him.
He didn't give me enough. The 3 kids, 3 moms. That's a red flag.
Oh, he's the one he's the one from the jump that I didn't like at all.
Yeah, 3 kids, 3 moms. I'm glad he's meditating, vegan, doing the inner work, and he probably needs to.
He still needs to, I think.
Because I don't think he has any dick discipline.
No.
Or intentionality. Because I don't understand how you're at 3 kids with 3 different women at such a young age. And hey, I'm sure the kids are a blessing. I don't want to knock anybody for their past. And I also believe he is enforcing the modalities that he thinks is going to keep him on the straight and narrow, like being vegan, like doing the inner work, like meditating. So I'm not mad. I also like that he is not about the fairy tale, and he's very in tune with the fact that looks fade. So I'm not really feeling like the superficial, some kind of guy. And he might have just made some mistakes when he was younger and got caught up. He might really be nice, but for me, I don't know. I'm not really getting much from him. Maybe we'll see more, but he comes with a lot of baggage.
I'm gonna be blunt. It's hard from the jump when there are so many red flags in your story for me to be on your team, right?
Yeah,
at the same time, I always want everybody to succeed, especially somebody that has so many red flags, because for all we know, he is, like you said, extremely intentional on this journey because he's learned from his past.
Mm-hmm.
The only person I could see, have him and Shiloh gone on a date yet?
Not that I know of, but they were in the group workout situation when he got stuck in the room with Carrie, which was really hard to watch. Didn't they do that group workout? But that was as close as I think he's gotten to Shiloh.
Yes, yes, and him, and that was so awkward and so hard to watch. But then I did see flashes of his old self a little bit. I felt like in that. Excuse me.
I get why you say that. I don't know why, but I understand that.
There was something there still. But
that's what ruined it for both of them. Carrie and Dante sitting in that room together is, I think, what put the straw that broke the camel's back for her.
Yeah.
I mean, girl, there wasn't even nothing to play up on. She was just like, there was nothing. It just was not a good look. I don't want him with Shiloh, though. I think Shiloh is too youthful and has too much to offer.
I want to see them go on a date, though. I want to see what kind of conversation they have.
I like that.
Because I think that will really help me understand him more. If any out of any of the girls, from what he, from who he says he is, I would like to see them go on a date and have to see what kind of conversation they have. I feel like I'll be able to see him a little more clearly.
I like that. And that makes sense, especially with her background and the spiritual, we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
But there are a lot of spiritual narcissists that claim to be vegans and all these things. And the spiritual narcissism is a huge thing. I'm not saying that's him. I'm just saying, like, I hear that a lot from especially being in LA for, my whole 20 years living there. Look, I've been a spiritual narcissist at point too. I get it. I say it because I've lived it and I've learned from it. But it is a real thing that it's really hard for a lot of people to get out of. And until I see him have a conversation with someone like Shiloh, who doesn't spit or seem spiritual narcissistic by any means at all, it will be able to give me allow me to see where he really lies on the level of spirituality.
I agree, because there's 2 sides of that thing. He can either really see I don't want to say errors of his ways, like I'm judging his life, but I'm just saying most people that are actively seeking a spiritual path in a particular way are trying to heal and grow. Like, that's what we all do, but it's either that or it sounds good. Because I always judge a man. I always judge a man by his fruit. And what you're saying and what I'm seeing gotta line up. And I'm just not. Yes, if he went out with Shiloh, maybe that would expose the depths of who he really is, or is it, you know, a performance because he thinks this is what he should do, or this is who he is now? I'm just not sure.
To be determined.
TBD on him.
At this point, I don't know how far he'd go. I don't think he'd go that far, but I wouldn't be surprised if he did go further.
I concur.
Actually, that's, I think, a good segue into Courtney. Did they get along at all? Him and Courtney? Did they go on a date?
I don't think they did. I'm trying to think who Courtney went on the date with, though. I know she went on the group date with Cornelius and Walter. She went out with Corey. But did we see anything else from her yet? I don't think so.
No. Yeah, I'm on the fence with her. I like her, and I like. Yeah, I don't know. I think she's great for the show.
I think she's great. I'm on the fence with her too. I'm not really a fan of women who are like overly sexual. I know that there is beauty in that and there is like fun in it. But sometimes those type of women, for me, it's like, all right, girl, we get it. You like to have sex. Okay. But that's who she is. It seems like she's being authentic, so I really can't be mad at it.
It doesn't feel put on at all. It feels
doesn't
authentic.
feel put on, and that's cool. She's probably not somebody I would hang out with, but who knows? I might be missing out on a great friend. It's just in my, I don't know. It just kind of like rubs me the wrong way a little bit, but I know that that's just me. There's nothing wrong with her, because what I love, go ahead.
That's why I think her and Corey could be a match. I think they both still are putting on. And I think they might be able to see that reflection in each other on the show somehow or some way. I think they're both as equally freaky. I think because when they had that date and he pushed up on her, I thought she was offended, but she was like, So that's what I mean. Been a little, I feel like they might have that type of. And I wouldn't be surprised if they,
because she's a good woman
and she's strong, so she's strong enough not to take his shit. That's
true.
She'd be strong enough to be like, this is what you're doing. Stop being stupid. That's not who you are. And he'd be like, whatever you say.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So that's why, to me, that dynamic lies there with them. We'll see. I'm excited to see what happens though.
Yeah, because she's a straight shooter and she knows, like, I love her story with like, my child's father was 20. We were 25, had the kid. I'm not 25 no more. I'm 30. I'm grown. I'm doing like, she's a straight shooter.
She knows what she wants.
I love that.
Mm-hmm. So she knows what she wants.
Dang, you might be right. Ooh, maybe it's because Corey just bothers me. I cannot deal with him right now, but maybe Courtney can. And he really likes her. I do love how Corey went out of his way to show her he felt different about her by bringing the flowers to the skating rink. Now that's very intentional to have done that ahead of time, to wrap in the little paper, do the thing, and that cannot go unnoticed.
And I also think that she's the type of woman that would encourage him to keep doing things like that, to keep showing up, to keep putting in the work.
That so much.
I
really like that.
Seems like she's that type of woman, and I think that's what I mean by him. I think there's room for him to grow into that. He just needs the right type of woman.
Yes, I agree. I cannot argue. As you were saying that, I can see that. Like, and then they can do all that weird, freaky stuff together,
which is great. I love that.
Perfect.
I want them to tell me all about it. I'm like,
exactly. It works. That might be what it is.
That was really fun.
That was.
I don't know if we had anybody listening or not, but it didn't matter because we had a good conversation. And
there were people in and out of here all night.
We'll get on the phone and talk about something else after this, probably for the rest of the night.
Exactly, because I think we covered everything. We've talked about everybody, people that we think. Yeah, it's so good. This was a lot of fun.
We've given predictions. We predicted who we think the next two are to go yet? I know I said that I think that Cecilia.
I think the next one to go.
And I guess that's all we have to predict because that's the next episode, right?
Isn't it a guy and a girl cut each time? And they're adding another girl and another guy. They're adding two people.
That is juicy. No, I think, remember, because wasn't it last week? It was just Homeboy, because the girls decided, and then last week, the guys decided.
It's time for a girl to get cut because last week a guy got cut. But the first week, 2 people got cut. So did we
Yes.
not know? Maybe there's not a formula.
You know what? He did say there's gonna be a lot of surprises. Phil, is that his
Okay.
name?
Oh yeah, Tommy Miles,
Tommy
I love
Miles.
as a host. He's the perfect host for this show. He is. So, I want to hug him.
He's so good.
He's such a great guy.
He's so natural. He's so
He's
present.
on it.
He's really
he's
great.
good. He's good.
It's fantastic.
Shout out to Tommy Miles.
Shout out to Tommy Miles. You're killing
Tommy
it.
Miles, killing it. Well, friend, this was fun. I mean, did you have any? I feel like
that's it. We did
hit
everything. I'm really looking forward to doing this again. I can't wait till episode 5 comes out. It's fun. Thank you for asking me to do it with you. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Who would have thunk?
Right. This is great. And I love all your insights so much. You brought so much nuance to the characters and it's so funny because I feel like people probably watch this and don't even think half as deep as we're like, I think when she was 5, she went through this. So it's beautiful. It's full. I love it.
Thank you.
Yes.
I think likewise, like it's hard for me not to say likewise. It's possible for me not to say likewise. I think that just is a testament to the fact that we continue to work on ourselves, and we are both already in love as well. So we are constantly observing, and we don't really judge. We're just observing and learning and growing through that. So that's why this is like the perfect show for us to be doing, because we're both single. Yes. We're both enjoying the process and learning from it. I am learning through these people, these brave souls who are ready for love, and they put themselves out there for the world to watch. And I have nothing but applause for them and like admiration. And I can't wait to do it again.
Great.
And we'll be a little more we'll be a little better on schedule. We had crazy weeks, but maybe I'll try this one Saturday. Actually, I don't know. Like this weekend's a little crazy for him. We'll figure it out.
It's all good. So the next episode airs 8/7 Central on OWN TV this Friday. So if we can't talk about it Friday night, we will get to it over the weekend. But we can, we want you guys that are tuning in to please tune into this after discussion for Ready to Love on OWN.
And watch the show if you're not watching it already.
Please watch the show, catch up. It's great. And we'll be here to talk about it.
And there's no better time right now than to keep watching the human experience, right?
Absolutely.
Anything that's going to keep broadening our awareness and our accepting of each other and seeing the likeness in each other is just going to be really beneficial. And I think this show does a good job at that. It doesn't feel like things set up for drama anyways, it's a good show. And let's just keep growing and learning together, my friends.
Yeah.
Really simple.
Yes, you're right about it. They handle these things with the proper kid gloves. This is not to embarrass anybody or make something good for dramatic TV. Everyone here is so real, rooted,
intention.
Honest. I love the intention is why I'm like obsessed with Will Packer. I am. Everything he touches is like gold. I'm like obsessed. So kudos, friend.
I know. I can't wait till you work with Will Packard one day with all your incredible situations.
Absolutely. I'm like, do you know the other day I came across a screenshot that I took of him back in 2013. I don't even know what I was thinking, but I was
got chills through my whole body.
This man, I've been sweating him. And so one day.
When you're not thinking is when you do and put into action the manifestation that leads you to this moment that you're in right now. So that's powerful. And I can't wait to be celebrating that journey with you when you guys are bossing it out together one day.
I love it. Thank you so
Until
much.
then, we're going to just stalk his shows and Ready to Love, episode 5.
All right,
Can't wait to talk about it. And I guess we'll just be more detailed on the episode itself this next time.
Yeah, the next time we're just going to focus on the episode. We had to catch up. So that was beautiful. We got to, now we'll just knock out episode 5 and talk about what happens in that episode.
Great. Thank you for listening to me asking your questions.
Yeah.
Could have done that off camera and I'm still going to do it. So anyways, bye everybody.
Okay. Bye.